Hello, welcome to Web 2.0 Tools for Educators. Before we begin, let's start with some of the basics. So what is Web 2.0? So how do I integrate technology into my classroom? There are many different models out there. I personally use the SAMR model for technology integration, which was created by Dr. Ruben Putinera. Dr. Putinera thinks that technology allows educators to think differently and to allow the students to perform new tasks. There are 4 different letters. It is not a ladder where you're going from substitution to augmentation to modification to redefinition, but basically how different ways that you can have your students utilizing technology in the classroom. Let's look at the different letters. Substitution is basically where the technology is just replacing pen and paper. It is not changing anything that students have done before. Some different ways, Google Docs, for example, instead of students writing an essay by hand, they can then type it up in Google Docs. Augmentation is also not enhancing the student learning. It's not transforming the student learning, but it gives a more functionality, makes things a little bit easier. Again, staying with the example of Google Docs, the student can then access the Google Docs from home and from school. They don't have to worry about a flash drive. They could also share their essay with their teacher, and the teacher could give them some comments or some suggestions on their essay. Modification is where you're taking technology and you're changing the learning of the students. Modification is basically allowing the students to create and take more ownership of their learning. The picture on the left is a student of using QR codes to do a lesson in the classroom. So they are working independently, they have a handheld device, and they can work at their own pace. They can go back and look at the different QR codes if they need more information. Prezi can be used by students to create their own presentations by using images, video, and text. Redefinition is basically where the students are sharing or publishing or communicating with students outside of their classroom and even their school. Students can use wikis to create and edit information and participate with students from around the world. In Modo, students can communicate with one another in the classroom, but they can also do that with students in classrooms from different countries. Where do I start? There are hundreds of different apps and websites out there that allow students to create, communicate, social, create blogs, etc. Kathy Schrock has a lot of good resources out there if you want to learn more. What we are going to look at in this course are 4 different websites that allow you as a teacher to create media that you want to present to your students, but then also that students can use to present different things in the classroom. Prezi is one, Powtoon is another, creates world clouds, and some more allows students to create flyers. Formative assessment allows the teacher to give the students feedback based on the content. Kahoot and quizzes allows you to do it in a gaming situation where you're giving the students instantaneous feedback on how they have done. Edpuzzle allows the educator to utilize videos, and you can insert questions throughout the video to question the students on the content. Nearpod, the teacher can use videos, you can use text, but you can also have the students answer various questions during the lesson. And you can have these online so the students can access them inside or outside of the classroom. Communication is an important part of Web 2.0, allowing students to have that social aspect and that interaction with students and classmates and colleagues from around the world. Edmodo allows for classroom discussion outside the four walls of your classroom, and Padlet also allows you to do that. So the next step is we're going to start looking at some of these various Web 2.0 tools.